Welcome back to another live build, Not Just Developers. I'm so excited that we're finally tackling our last application in the Uber Eats challenge. And today we are going to build restaurant dashboard with ReactJS and Ant Design. I'm very excited. So not that long ago, let me share the presentation. Yeah, maybe this. Not that long ago, maybe a week ago, actually, me and Vadim started a challenge where we decided to build the whole Uber Eats ecosystem with applications for driver, for user, and for the dashboard that we're going to build today. It was an amazing challenge, and even though this dashboard actually is a part of a bigger project, as I just told you, you can still follow me along today because it's completely separate from the previous builds, and we won't need anything from there. And of course, if later you want to, you can go and watch back the previous tutorials and do them as well. But as I said, today, if you want to follow, you can just follow me along because we won't need anything from previous builds. Okay, so today we are going to build our dashboard using React.js, and later, probably in the next stream, we will connect everything with AVS Amplify, and then we will have the whole ecosystem together, which is actually very exciting. And I think you should be looking forward to the next stream because at least I am. So today I'm going to be alone because Vadim is still working on his course, and he told me that he really misses you guys. So I don't know, shout out to him. But yeah, today we're going to be working alone because Vadim is working on the course for you. So guys, I think it's too late to enroll, but the ones who enroll to the course, I'm really excited for you, and I hope you'll get a lot from that course. So let's look at what we are going to build today. We're going to start with a simple order screen where the restaurant will see all of his orders, and he'll be able to see all of the statuses of these orders. Then we'll implement a detailed page of the order where you'll be able to basically change the status of an order to either decline it, accept it, and notify that food is done, and the courier can come and pick it up. We're also going to work on a menu where restaurants will be able to add new menu items and also remove them. And here's how the form is going to look like. Also, we are going to work on an order history. That's going to be very similar to orders. We're just going to see all of the previously either delivered or declined orders. And last but not least, we will work on settings page where restaurants will be able to change their name and also set their address using Google Autocomplete. Okay, so if you guys want to follow me along, which I highly encourage you because I think that's way more interesting for me and probably to you too, because you're doing, but then you're going to need to download the asset bundle with the dummy data and this PDF presentation. And as well, you'll need to have a Google developer account. But you need Google developer account only if you want to implement restaurant address autocomplete functionality. If you think that you don't need that, then you can just follow along without it. So yeah, I think we can get started. And guys, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Lucas. I'm a full stack software developer with multiple years of experience. And I'm really glad that you are here and willing to learn and also join this amazing Not Just Developers community. If you find any value out of this channel, please subscribe because it really helps. And if you do, big thank you in advance. You can find a lot of different tutorials on this channel, and I think that can really take you to another level. So guys, please subscribe, and also most importantly, take everything from this channel that you can, learn as much as possible. And yeah, I'm very excited to get started with this build. So how are you guys doing actually? Are you from where are you joining me today as well? I'm really interested. Let's see. Welcome to the session, guys. Hey, hey. Uh, lo- uh, Nitesh saying, loved your work. I'm very glad that you're enjoying this channel and everything here. I'm very, very happy for that. Yay, we have a new member. Thank you, Jinping Lu. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. From Ghana, from Japan. Oh, wow, that's from very, very far away. That's really nice, guys. Is this build beginner friendly? Yes, this is going to be very beginner friendly build. I think a lot more beginner friendly than the previous Uber Eats applications. We're just going to work on a dashboard on very, very basically the most basic functionality that you will most likely need in all of the dashboards that you're going to work on. Louisiana, Guinea, South America, nice. From India, from Nigeria. Wow, that's very nice. That's from basically all over the world again. Okay, I see that people are very excited about this build, and I am too. So without wasting any more time, I think we can jump into it. And from Turkey too. Wow, that's nice. Also, to start this project, we are going to let me share my screen. Okay. Yep, we are going to need to open the terminal, and in the terminal, go to the path that you want to create your. Oh, I think you cannot really see this very well. Maybe this one. Yeah, so go to the path where you want to store your project, your new project, projects. Okay, and I think also, okay, let's create it here. So the command to create this new project will be npx create React app. And also we need to say add latest in order to use the latest version of create React app, because sometimes I saw there's a bug where for some users it doesn't work without it. Well, it does work, but it uses a older version. So do use this and then provide the name of your application. So for me, it's going to be npx, where is it here? Create React app at latest, and let's call it Uber Eats Restaurant Dashboard. I pronounced that word really weirdly. Uber Eats Restaurant Dashboard. Okay, let's click enter. And now it's going to start creating and initializing the new project. It might take some time because, as you can see, it will install React, React DOM, React scripts, and a lot more things. So let's wait a little bit. And while I'm waiting, let me see, what are you guys saying? From Sudan, wow. Yes, smash the like button, subscribe, and also if you find value, always share the stream in order to spread this tutorial as much as possible to all of the users. I am Mythic. So today's episode, we're going to build with ReactJS a dashboard, a web dashboard for users. We're not going to use React Native today. Oh, so yeah, if you wanted to learn React, we are also going to use it with Ant Design. So Ant Design provides some components that are already pre-styled, which looks very amazing. You'll be able to see later how easy it is. And yes, so that's going to be a really beginner-friendly tutorial. Hi from Sri Lanka. Yes, hello, Rogelio. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased and very honored with those kind words. Thank you. Yes, let's go. Thank you. Any more React tutorials coming in the future? I think we might do some if it's interesting, and if it works out, then yeah, why not? We can try to do that. From Kenya, hello, wow. East or West, Lucas is the best. Thank you very much. Hello, Sakasawa. Okay, did you manage to implement the Google Autocomplete for the user application? No, we didn't do that there, but that's why I'm doing it today here. And basically, the implementation is going to be very similar with the Google side. You're just going to need to find a library for React Native, and if it's really something you like need help finding, you can write in our Discord channel, and I'll help you to find a good library for that for React Native. Please, more React tutorials. Your Vadim are the best teachers. Thank you, and yeah, I know that Vadim is saying thank you as well. He's working really hard, guys, on your tutorials. So let's hold our fist for him. Okay, so as we can see it, we already can start hacking, as it says here. Happy hacking. Let me maybe this is better, but I think it's too small. Okay, for now, let's leave it like that. Later, I'll change it back. Okay, so we have our application prepared. Now we can run npm start or yarn start, whatever works for you. I like to use I like to use yarn. So yeah, it depends, but I don't have yarn installed here, so I'll have to do npm start as well. And let's see, complete. Oh, because I'm not in the folder. Okay, so I need to cd into my, basically go into the folder. I'm trying to run it from projects, but I need to go to Uber Eats restaurant dashboard. Yes, to here. And now I can most likely use yarn as well. Yes, okay, it worked. Let's give it some time. Starting the development server. Hello, John Canvas. Hello. Webpack compiled successfully. Okay, and as we can see already, our web application here, that's perfect. So let's go back and test if we're actually changing something. But before doing that, I need to open this application here as well. So let's go to desktop, not just projects, Uber Eats dashboard. Let's open it up. So I think yes, I need to restart the server. Okay, let's give it some time. And then I'll explain you. Yes, here it is. Now it's working. Let's hide this one. Yep. Let's minimize. And now let's go through the source, basically, folder. Here we have some files that I'll also clean up a little bit because we're not going to use, for example, setup tests. We're not going to use any tests. So actually, we can delete it right away. Also, we are not going to report web vitals, but if you want, you can start measuring your performance for your application and like pass log results and stuff like that. But we're not going to do that, so let's delete this one. I like to keep the project clean when I start working. So, okay, let's delete this one as well. And all of this, let's save it. And actually, I said I want to show you that everything is working. So instead of learn React, let's change it to hello world and save it. Let's see. And here, as you can see, it says hello world. That means it worked. Perfect. Let's keep cleaning. We don't need logo as well. Let's remove it. And index.js, leave everything as it is because that's very important. Then for index CSS, that's basically going to be our global styles. And we will, I'm thinking, we will make some changes in, yes, index CSS a little bit later on. So let's leave it. Tests, we don't need. We won't use any tests. So let's delete this. App.js is important. So let's leave it. And app CSS, we don't need it. So we can simply delete it. Now let's go to app.js. And delete this line and this line because now it's going to start crashing. And instead of this, let's simply render a span with hello. and see if it's not crashed. Yes, we can see hello here. That's perfect. And can you show design of a dashboard? Yes, I can quickly show the design of a dashboard. Let me go back a little bit. So that's going to be more or less the design of the dashboard. And yeah, it's simplistic. Basically, everything that you need, but not too something not too crazy. Yes. Okay. So now, as I told you, we are going to be using Ant Design in order to get some already prepared. And let me do this to have some already prepared components, which is very nice. And yeah, why not? Like, it makes the development so much easier because you get already, as you will see later, so much already done for you. So let's install with yarn add Ant D. I'm going to no. If you're using npm, you can do npm install Ant D and click enter. I thought I'm going to sneeze, but I didn't. Okay, let's wait a little bit while it's installing. And we'll also have to add, as you can see, that little import where it says entity dist entity css to our index.js file. But let's wait until it installs. Okay. So let me find, and yes, this part, let's copy it. Will this have integration with the Uber Eats app? Yes, everything will be connected together during the next stream, when we will connect it with AVS Amplify. Then you'll see everything working together. So I think the next stream should be very exciting, at least for me, to see how everything is working, and yeah, to see the whole time pay off. Okay, it's already almost done. A few more seconds left. Let's see. Go, 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 go. Okay. Yes. That's it. Yes, yes, I'm as well very excited. Yes, of course I can zoom in VS Code. Thank you for letting me know. Let me know if that's good enough, or should I make it even more, zoom in even more. Okay, we've added we've installed Ant Design, and now we need to add, as I said, that little import somewhere here. So import it, save it, and that's it. We have our Ant Design ready to rock. So let's start the server again. And yarn start, okay. Starting development server, perfect, it's working. Let's close this. Okay, now it's loaded. Perfect. Okay, so we can close this index, and let me share again this one. And as I said, we're going to start with order details page. Basically, from the list, after you go to click on an order, you should see something like this. Okay, so let me open design for myself here. Okay, perfect. So first of all, what we need to do is, no, actually, that's not the correct design. This is correct one. Perfect. So the first thing that we will have to do is, as I said, import a lot of different components from Ant Design, and you can see how much we'll reuse from them. So first of all, let's import card. We will also use their descriptions. We will also need divider. It's a very nice line that divides some components. I'll show you one by one what each of them do after starting to work on them. I'm just importing them right away because I know we will need them. List, and also we will need button. And let's import everything from Ant Design. Okay. And I need also to get my assets, because for dummy data, and you should have it in the prerequisites asset bundle that you downloaded if you're following along. I don't have it, but I'll really quickly import everything that I'll need. So these three, and go back here. Perfect. So yeah, we'll need dishes. which has very simple structure because we will going to change it during the next stream to a real data. For now, we're only working with dummy data. Let me see if everything is correct. Yes. Yeah, so that's going to be the dishes, order history, and orders. Very similar, everything, but yeah, some minor differences. Let's close this and import orders because we will need orders here. So let's import orders from source / assets / data / dishes, not orders. It's dishes, sorry. Yes, dishes. Perfect. And so now we will wrap everything in a card, and I'll show you how cool that card looks like. Let's do it like that. And let's give a title to a card in order to see. Okay, so order title and save it. Let's go here. Let's reload. Oh, it's taking so long. Is everything okay here? Okay, so these warnings are actually from coming. Well, these ones are coming because we're basically not using these, but we will later, so don't worry. But these warnings are coming from Ant Design, and I was trying to read like how to fix it, and it's nothing too important. It's only like a warning. Nothing is crashing, so don't really mind that. And it's, yeah, as I said, nothing major. And here's the card. For now, it doesn't look much. It's just like simple lines, but in order to, let's add some styling in order to have some margin around it and see what it actually is. So let's give I don't know, margin 20. Let's go back. Okay, so now you can see the card is coming up little by little, but let's be patient. So that's the card, and everything that we put inside will go under here. So let me simply add like some span and say hello. Let's save it, and as you can see, it very nicely styles already with all the paddings, everything inside, which looks very cool. Okay, now let's go back and add those descriptions. So I want let me oh yeah, I want the customer name, customer address to be in another little table. So that's the design that I've managed to come up with. And yeah, you can of course do whatever you like. You can go to Ant Design website, and they have a bunch of different components that you can make use of and make everything look even cooler. But I was trying to make it basically as beginner friendly as possible. Okay, let me remember always to add back this screen to the stream. Okay, so, and that table is going to be done with a thing called descriptions. So let's add a closing tag as well. And inside here, descriptions, this description has things called descriptions.item. So, and this item is basically whatever you want to be. Let's say you have to provide a label to it. So I'll show you what the label is, and the label will be something like customer for in our case, and then let's say customer name and last name, or maybe let's simply add mine. Lucas Ignatius. Let's save it, go back, and as you can see, it adds a table with a customer as a label, and then anything you provide as the actual value here. So we will need another description item, which is going to be customer address. And address will probably, I'm not going to provide the real address, but address, something like this, like in the design. And of course, tomorrow everything will be done correctly. So no, not tomorrow. I am used to saying because we were doing a challenge every day, but I mean during the next stream. Let's save it, and we see both of these things here. But now we want to add borders to it because you see our table looks a little bit better. So in order to add a border to it, simply pass bordered, and okay, now it's starting to look better. But now it's adding a lot of values in one place. Like, I don't really understand. Yeah, I don't like it. Simply, I don't like it. So I can go back and also pass a parameter called columns. And this columns parameter takes some values in order to say on a large screen how many of these columns you can fit in one large screen, medium screen. These MD, SM, I'm not exactly sure how they translate, but basically, yeah. So always, this is always going to be only one value, no matter what the size is of the screen. Okay, and yeah, as far as we can see, customer is Lucas Ignatius and address is here, the same as in our design. Let me drink some water. Okay, let's style it a little bit. Yes, I mean the code. And so our descriptions table is done. Now let's add that little divider that adds very nice touch to our code. Let's save it. And as you can see, this like little line, I'm not sure if you can see it well, but hopefully you can. This divide like adds a thin line, and adding everything together, it starts to look cooler and cooler. So now we need to have a list of the dishes that this user have ordered. So for that, we're going to use a list from Ant Design. So under the divider, let's go here and add list. And this list takes, I should add a with the closing tag like this. This list needs some parameters. So first of all, of course, we need data source. And data source is going to be our dishes. So let's pass this dishes data source to the list. And also it needs to know how to render an item. So let's do this. No, sorry, like this. Then let's take dish item. And now let's render it however we want. And we will render it as a list.item. And then inside here, yeah, like your imagination, however you want, you can style them and however looks cool for you. But for our design is like this. So we'll have a quantity and a name on one side, and then which is going to be bold, and then a price on the other side. Simple as that. So let's first of all, don't add any kind of designs. Simply add everything in a list. And for that, we can take like this and say dish item dot name. Let's save it and see if, yeah, okay, we see everything. And you see this list very nice because it already divides everything. And yeah, we don't need to worry about padding, about a lot of things. This list from Ant Design component does that for us. Okay, so we have a name. So that we also need to render a quantity. So let's add quantity. And last but not least, we need to add the price. So let's add price as well. Save it. And we can see everything here. Of course, it's not styled yet properly. It doesn't look as good as it will very shortly. But yeah. So we know that we want our dish name and dish quantity side by side. So we can actually just take this one and add it here and save it. Okay, now it's close to here. That's good. But we also want them to be bold. So let's add styles to this div, and let's say font font weight, if I remember. Yeah, font weight, which is going to be bold. Let's save it, go back. Okay, it's bold, perfect. Now we want to also add an X. If we are basically for the quantity, we want to say, yeah, X something. So like this, X2, X1, X3, perfect. And last but not least, we need to add to a price a simple $sign here. I think that looks, yeah, completely like we wanted it to look like. That's perfect. Hey, Intin the Sniper, just got on. What's up, Notjust developers? What's up? What's up? Very glad to see you here. Finally, normal ReactJS. Yes, please make VPN application. That's a interesting suggestion. Maybe Vadim will take that into consideration, I think. And I see you have Real Madrid badge. That's very nice. Okay, let's go back and yeah. So we have our list. That's perfect. It's listing the items. Very good. So last but not least, we need to render our buttons. But before that, let's add a simple divider here. Maybe I overuse it a little bit, but I really like how it makes everything look like. Okay, so we have this last thing, as I said, buttons. Oh no, I see total sum. We need to add total sum. So for that, let's add another div. So div is basically same thing as a view in React Native for those who have experience more in React Native but don't have as much experience in here. So yeah, div is the same thing as a view. Okay. Yeah, so we need to render here the basically two things. One of them is a title, which is going to say total. So H2 is basically heading or header, and 2 is a size. So let me show you. For example, I will write total. Let's save it. Go back. Yeah. So that's header. That means it's a little bit bolder. It's a little bit bigger. And size. For example, let me add H4 and here H4 as well. Let's save it. Go back. As you can see, it's smaller. And if I add, let's say, H1, it's going to be even bigger. Yeah, but I think H2 works for us the best. So let's do that. And we also need to render the price itself. So as well, let's make it H2. And for now, let's come up with our own price, 42, like in design, 42.96. Save it, go back. Okay, we see the total and we see the price. We need to style them a little bit. For example, make this in line. And in order to do that, I think let's do it here. The styles. Yes, first of all, let's not export, or should I? No, for now, let's not export. So const styles, and here, the same as in React Native. The only thing in React Native is that you're creating a style sheet, and here you can simply let's say total sum container, and provide some styles to the container. First of all, as we know, we need to make it flex direction. We need to make them in row. So let's do that. And also we need to pass display flex. Or in React Native, you don't need to specify that, but here we do need to specify that. Otherwise, I'll show you it won't work. So let's say, okay. Styles dot total sum container. Let's save it. Go back. Perfect. They're here one by one. But if I don't add the flex, it doesn't know how to render. That's why it will still render them on the bottom, this price. So this flex is important. Perfect. And last but not least, let's add some styles to the price. So we can say total price, and most likely that's going to be good enough. And the price will need to be on the other side. So let's say margin left auto, and it will, okay, I need to pass it as well. Where is it? Here. Style equals styles dot total price. Let's save it. And this margin left auto will take all of the space that's here on the left. You could do the same with justify content space between, but I don't know. Actually, Vadim showed this way, and recently I started doing this as well. I really liked it, and sometimes it prevents style bugs, and yeah, so it depends what you prefer. Okay, and also let's make maybe price bold. So total, no, I mean font weight. Let's see how it will look if we make it even bigger. Yes, I like this. I like this a lot. Let's see the design, and I think, yeah, we are not going to add subtotal because we decided in our previous streams that we are not going to count before um, adding anything. We're just going to show the total price right away. Okay, so we have this, and you guessed it, we will add another divider. I really, as I said, like how it makes everything look. Okay. And lastly, we need those 3 buttons. Of course, we will not render, so let me add this to the stream. We will not always render 3 of those buttons. So, but we will fix that in the next stream. We will render decline or accept buttons if the order is not accepted or declined. If the order is declined, we'll not even see that in orders list. But yeah, and if you accept the order, you will not see decline and accept buttons. You'll only see food is done button. So yeah, let's go back and start working on those buttons. Of course, like you can take some things out and into separate components, but for example, these buttons, you could take that into separate component, but maybe I'll do that later. We'll see. Okay, so first of all, let's wrap everything in a div or a React Native in a view. And in here, we'll pass some buttons container styles. Okay, so let's style equals styles dot buttons container. Perfect. And here we'll need them to be maybe let's add the buttons itself and later we'll style them. Maybe that will make more sense. So let's use the as well from Ant Design button component. And inside here, you specify what will be the title of a button, not like in React Native. In React Native, you just say button and then pass parameter title. And here you simply say here, so decline order. And let's do the same for accept order. Let's save it. Okay, we see 2 buttons. Perfect. But now we need to make, of course, style them a little bit. They don't look very nice. So for the button, we will pass button block, which will, as you will see, make them take up as much space as they can. Okay, perfect. Let's go back. And also we will pass for this decline button, we will pass type. And you can pass multiple types like danger, primary, but for decline, we will say that it's danger, which will make it red. And for the accept one, we will make it primary, which right now is blue because that's basically our primary color for now. But as we said in this index CSS, I think no, because it's in Ant Design. Yes, for Ant Design, the primary color is blue, but later on we will change that to our color, which is green. Okay, so now that we have these 2, let's also make them bigger. So we can pass size, and let's make them large. Let's copy. And if you go to Ant Design website and search for button, you'll see all of the other props that you can pass, and it's very nicely documented what they do. You saw it made them look bigger. Okay, that's very good. But now we need to make them, of course, in a row. So in buttons container, let's pass here. Maybe you don't see that. Let's display flex. Save it. And now they're side by side. Perfect. And also we of course need to add some padding on the bottom because it's for my taste it's too close. So padding bottom, and let's make it 30. Okay, yeah, that looks good. And let's add also some styles to the buttons itself. So button and do, okay. We will, I'm thinking, yes, let's do styles dot button and see if this will work. So, no, sorry, margin. I'm not sure if this button has a parameter called style. So let's see that. Let's see if it does or if it doesn't. Save it. Okay, it does. Perfect. So I thought we will have to create another div around it, but apparently we don't because they do have it. Also, pass this style parameter to another button as well. Let's add some margin on the left. Save it, go back, and voila. They look almost good enough. But we need to change, as I said, I want to change a primary color of the button. And in order to do that, let's go to index.css and simply delete everything here because we will add our own buttons. So to add for button primary style for Ant Design already predefined colors, we'll need to basically assign CSS styling to their classes. And Ant Design has something for buttons called primary button class called Ant button primary. Okay, so we will say that we want to change all the styles, well, not all the styles, but the styles that we say here for this particular class. And what do we want to change for this class? So we will want to change background color, and the background color will be, let me find where I have my, yeah, this one. We're using this one. Okay, let's save it, go back. And you can see it didn't change yet because we need to pass a thing parameter called important. That means that it's important to change this color. And voila, it changed the colors. Now, if we ever use a button with type primary from Ant Design components, it will always be green. So if I would change here, I don't know, to another color, it would be different. I don't know what's that color, but almost the same. Nothing changed. But we can see that the border is blue. But so we need to change also border color. And you can see here that you're passing styles a little bit different than you would for React Native. For example, even inline styles that we did here, we say here flex direction, or we would say background color, like that, with a capital letter. But in this case, we are passing like CSS with a dash. So let's save it and let's reload. And it's green as well. So now this primary button will always be like that. Okay, what else do we need here? Oh, we need also a button for saying that food is done, food is prepared. So, okay, for that, we will create another button under this container. Yeah, let's make it under. I'm going to copy, so you can do the same. And this is going to be as well a primary. We don't need to pass block because it will take, I think, the whole space. No, we do need to pass block in order to take the whole space. Yes, we do need to do it. But we don't need to pass any styles. So let's not do that. And let's pass food, something like food is done. Save it. And voila, it's here. Perfect. As I said, we will not render all of these buttons at the same time. But for now, let's leave it like that. And later when we have the actual data, and the status of an order, we can, according to that, change what we display. I think that's for, let me check. I think that's it for, yes, I think that's it for the design of a detailed order component. So now, but as you can see, we've created everything in this app class. So that's that would be the same as in React Native creating everything in the app or index as well. So that doesn't really make sense because we will have a lot of things. So for example, if I would need to render another, like let's say a list of them. So what would I do? Code as well here? That wouldn't make much sense. So instead of that, let's create in source a folder called modules, or that's going to be the same as screens in React Native. You can call it whatever you want. I prefer modules here. And in here, let's create another folder, which will be detailed order. Okay, and also in here, let's create index.js. Perfect. And now we need to take actually everything that we have in this, let's say, return. Let's cut it. Go back to our newly created index under detailed order, and here create something like const detailed order function. Let's export default detailed order, same as React Native. Return and paste everything here. Of course, we're missing a lot of things that we will have to import right now. And actually, both of these things we need to cut from here and import in here. Okay, we also missing styles there. So let's cut these styles and paste them here. Let's save it here and let's save it here. But as you know, right now we will get, oh, of course, we need to change this path because right now it's incorrect. So the path will be asset/data/dishes. Save it. Okay. And right now, this one is okay, but we're getting an error because we don't return anything from an app. So let's save it, and it's blank. Of course, it's blank. It doesn't have anything to render. It's rendering a simple blank page. But if I say hello, here's hello. So in order to render this detailed order here again, I can import it, of course. So import detailed order from modules, detailed order, and same as React Native, simply pass detailed order. Save it, and voila, it's back here. So we just extracted it to another folder in order to clean it up a little bit. That's perfect. But we need right now to have, let me open a presentation. Here it is. So yeah, we've worked on this one. We need right now to render a list of all these orders. So you'll see later why I decided to show detailed order at first before the list of the orders, but actually you'll see it very soon. But yeah, so let's right now render a list of all these orders. And in order to do that, let's create a new module right away. And this module will be called orders. And in this module, let's create an index.js. And in here, follow the same structure, const orders. And like that, let's return, oh, not return, export default orders. Okay, perfect. And return for now, simply let's return a span. And span is a text, equivalent text, saying hello orders. Let's save it. Go back to our app. And in here, import orders from modules orders. And pass orders instead of detailed order. Let me check if everything is correct. Okay, no, it's not correct. I'm not showing my code, so let's add to stream. Sorry, guys. So I didn't do much. Let me go through it. It's harder, a lot harder when you're alone streaming because I'm not used to like checking. Okay, changing back and forth. But I'm really sorry, guys. So let me go through everything again. What I did. So from here, I've created another folder in modules. I called it orders. And this orders is basically a simple, for now, component that's returning a text saying hello orders. Nothing fancy. And I've imported it in app.js and passed it, changed it from detailed order to these orders. Let's save it and see. Okay, hello orders. Perfect. That seems it's working. I'm not sure if I think I explained everything that I didn't show. Hey, Notjust developers, let's support Lucas with some likes. Thank you, Vadim. Thank you. And yes, I wasn't showing. Very, very sorry, guys. Hopefully, I'll try not to make this mistake again. Okay, we have all the orders, and now let's render the list of them. And again, first things first, simply let's import all the orders from dummy data. So if you're following along, you need to download the asset bundle from the link in the description, I think. Orders from, no, I think Olatunde, yes, he pasted all the assets as well in the chat. So yeah, let's import orders from no more assets, data, and orders. Perfect. And in here, we will make use of some Ant designed components as well. Something with card that we already used. We will also use table. We didn't use that yet. And tag. We didn't use that either. Card, I think we'll use card in every component that we'll create, but we'll see. Okay, so first things first, let's simply start with returning a card with title. Title will be simply orders. Let's add some styles, and styles will be margin 20 around everything. Also, let's close this card just like that. Okay, save it and go back. Okay, we see all of our orders. Perfect. Yes, Olatunde just reposted. Thank you guys for all your hearts. I'm sending back it to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we have a card, and now inside this card, let's make use of a component called table from Ant Design. Let's close it like that. And this component takes, again, a few parameters. First of all, data source, which is going to be our orders. And if we save it, we won't see anything because but you can see a table, but nothing else, like no data, nothing, because it doesn't know how to render what. Okay, so for that, we will need to pass a thing called columns, but we need to define those columns. And according to these columns, the table will know itself how to render what. So above the return, let's create a function called const, not a function, I mean an array called const table columns. And in here, we will specify whatever we need. So I'll show you slowly how it's done. But so yeah, I'll take an object and say, basically one object is going to be one column. So this column will have always a title. So title for our first column will be order ID. So I can call this whatever I want. Now the second one will be data index. And now this is very important to get it right, because data index is whatever it needs to render from the data source that you provide. So for example, here I need to render the ID. No, in orders, the order ID. So let's copy this, go back here, and data index, make it order ID. And also for each of these columns, we need to provide a key. And key will the same be, let's make it order ID. Let's save it. Also, let's pass these table columns here. Let's save it, go back, and we can see our first column with all the IDs here. Okay, perfect. So now let's go to another column, and our another column will be what is it? Delivery address. So delivery address. And now let's see data index. Let's go to orders. Data index is delivery address. Let's go back here and paste this in. And key, let's give the same key, delivery address. Perfect. Let's save it. See, okay, we see our delivery address. That's very nice. We also need to render price. So let's go here, title, price. Now data index will be, let's see what it is, price, okay, and key the same, price, okay. But as you can see, we want price to render with a dollar sign. So in order to do that, we can pass one more parameter here, which is called render. In order to basically provide a way of how this table will render this exact column. So let's do like this. Let's take price, which is going to be the price from the order. So either this one, or this one. I'm getting the value of it. So let's take the price. And with this price, let's render however we want things to be shown. So first of all, we'll show the price itself, and then a dollar sign. Let's save it. And voila, it works perfectly. So if I would add something here more, it's also changing to all of the rows. Yeah. So yeah, I should have said, like, it shows how to render each row in this column. I think that would have made more sense. And last but not least, we need to render the status of an order. So let's give a title, status. Then data index will be, I think it's simply status as well. Yes, it's simply status. And key as well. Let's save it. Voila. But as you can see in our design, we want like to add at least a little bit of style. So make this different colors, which will already give a lot of more personality to the dashboard. And for that, I will create a function called render order status, just like that. And in here, I'll take order status. And here, let's pass the same render. No, not like that. Why? Like this, render, and pass render order status. Let's save it. And also let's console log, for example, right now. I'll show you. Let's console log the order status. Let's open this console and let's see. Okay, so as you can see, it says accepted, pending, declined. That's very good because that's what we need. And we have this warning, which we will fix very soon. So don't worry about it. And according to that, let's render however you want. And we'll make use of the tag from Ant Design. And you'll see how nice everything will look in a few seconds. So if order status equals to accepted, then we want to return tag with the color green. So I'm wondering the best way to, okay, let's do it like this. Color will be simply green. And let's close it. No, and in the tag itself, we need to pass whatever we want to render inside this tag. So we want to say order status. Let's save it. And for one, we have it here because it's accepted, the first one. And as you can see, it very nicely renders inside a green tag a accepted title, which is this title from order status. Okay, we can delete this. So for the other ones, we will have either accepted, pending, or decline. So for pending, it will be orange, and for decline, it will be red. Let's save it. and it renders very nicely how we want it to be shown. Okay, let me drink some water. Perfect. So in order to, we're getting always this error saying that each child should have a key because the table doesn't know what on what to render. Basically, what is the main key? And for that, we need to pass a row key, and our key will be from this order ID. It will be, and let's save it. Let's reload it. And as you can see, we don't get that error anymore warning because it knows, okay, and this row key is important in order, for example, later, if we have a lot of orders and we are starting to use pagination, and if our keys are the same or it doesn't have the keys, you will see a lot of duplicates, and then everything will basically will be a big mess, very, very big mess, which we don't want that. I can see already one more thing that I want to change because our dashboard accent color is green mostly. And here, and design is blue. And here the next button is blue. And if I would have multiple paginated, and actually I can show you that, but of course now we will get the problem that I was telling you about, but it doesn't matter. So let's save, let's paste, let's paste, let's paste, save it. And you can see there are 2 pages, and this table already does everything automatically. So if I click on the second page, it will render a second batch of the orders, and I can go back. But now, as I said, like it will start crashing, because not crashing, but being a mess because of the same key values. But yeah, I want to change the design, because if I hover on this, for example, or this, I don't want it to be blue, I want it to be green. And in order to change this, let's go back to our index CSS. And in here, we will have to, again, change some global styles. So first of all, let's go to Ant, pagination item active. So that's basically the active item, this active item in the pagination menu. And to find these class names, you could like open the developer console, click on the, wait, let me make it a little bit bigger. So open the elements, click on this one. And for example, I can click on here and see what it has. So this has a class and pagination item and pagination item active, and according to that, I'm setting global styles to override their own styles. So let's add border, border color, and let's do the same color here. Also, it's important, but I need to make it after. Let's save it. Okay, so border color is blue. I mean, it's green, but the number inside is still blue. So for that, we will need to do another for list dot ant not this one, ant pagination item active A. And here we'll say simply color, and color will be this one, and it's important. Let's save it. Perfect. The color inside is green as well. I'm not sure if you are seeing this, but I I assure you it is green. So we also want to change the ant menu item selected to be a background, to have a background color of green as well. Let's save it. Okay. And also, oh no, we don't need to change this one anymore for now. I'll show you later when we need to change this one. But yeah, Also, like we could work a little bit more and also change, for example, on hover. Right now, if I hover on it, it's still blue. So like that, I can like try to find what changes when I hover and change the styles according to that. But we're not going to probably waste more time on this. Let's see if we can easily spot it. And if not, then well, let me on this one. Yeah, most likely I'm not gonna spend more time on this, but yeah. So basically, you get the gist how you're supposed to change these like global styles for already implemented and designed components in order to have it everywhere when you reuse it, so you don't need to every time on the reuse change the styles there as well. So let's close this for now, and yeah, let's fix our orders itself because there's too many orders. Okay, let's save it and go back to see if everything, yeah, everything is in its place. That's very good. So now we want, after I click on any of these items, I want to open a detailed screen, basically detailed component of my order details. So in order to do that, we are going to need to use React Router DOM. Let me add this, maybe it makes more sense. So we'll need to install another library. And to do that, simply say yarn add or npm install React Router DOM. And we want the sixth version that's the newest right now. It's a new major version which has a lot of very nice things and hooks, and yeah, they updated a lot of things, and I spotted the mistake. React Router DOM ethics. Okay, let's click enter. Thank you guys, you're awesome. Thank you guys for being here and for helping us build these applications and for willing to learn. Oh, thank you, Marian. I'm developing my app with your tutorials. You really helped me a lot. Thank you, thank you. And I and Vadim as well are very, very happy that we can help you in some way. I'm very, very excited, and I hope your app will be amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you again very much. Okay, it installed already. So let me show the screen back. So as you can see, everything is installed, but we need to wrap our whole application. So we need to go to index.js, and we need to wrap this instead of app in a browse router. So let's import it. Import browser router from React Router DOM, and let's wrap the whole browser router, the whole application in this router. Okay, let's save it, and that's it. We can close our index now. So now we can use the router in the application. And as I said, we want to, after I click on a list item here, I want to open a detailed page of this particular item in a list. So in order to do that, and also like, I hope you understand how easy it was like to add this browser router, and I'll show you later how easy it is to set up the screens, import them, get this new version made it very, very similar to React Native, I would say. So yeah, I'll show it later. But for now, let's navigate to our order details page. So in orders, this table from Ant Design can take one more, like it can take more parameters, but one more very important parameter to us, which is called on row. And this on row means when you click on a row. Okay, so when I click on a row, I'll take order item. And with that, for now, I'll console that dot log order item. Let's save it. Let's go back, open the console. And for example, I click here. Let me reload. Something is, oh, I need to run the application. After installing, I forgot to run it. Okay, it's starting the development server. That's good. Let's wait a little bit more. Okay, yes, it's working. So if I click on here, let me clear the, yes, here, and go back here. Let's see, on row. No, I'm doing it a little bit wrong. So let me take here and let me return this. And here I'll have to, on row, I also have to pass on click like this. And here, when we click, something will happen. So on row, it basically means on rendered row. So it's not for us. Well, for us, but we're not making use of it that way. So now if I click, I can see each row that I click. So first one is with this ID, F8762. Then this one is with A9245, and so on. That means it's working. And you can pass multiple things in this on row, but yeah, we'll need on click. And okay, so now we need to navigate somehow. Very similar to React Native, we can import use navigate from React Router DOM. And here we will need to create the object const navigate equals use navigate, same as React Native completely. And in here, simply call navigate, but we don't have the routes yet. So we won't be able to call that. So we need to set up the routes, and it's going to be pretty similar to what we have in, let me open the presentation. It's going to be very similar to what we have in React Native. So you have everything wrapped in routes, and you can pass multiple, why did it skip so much? Yeah, and you can pass multiple routes inside with path. So basically that's the URL kind of, and the element that it needs to render when it gets there. Very similar. Instead of path in React Native, we are passing, like creating a name. But yeah, for web, it works a little bit differently. So here we will create, let me share the screen. I almost forgot to do it again. So yeah, let me double check. Yes, you can see, but let me make this way. Okay, so in here, we need to import a route, not like this, route from React Router DOM, like that. And let me double check their documentation to be sure. Where is it? Settings in where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so yes, we need to import routes, and also for each of them a simple route. In here, let's say route, let's wrap everything in this routes, because yeah, that's what we need to do. And let's specify 2 routes for now. One of them will be for all of the orders. So the path will simply be like this, a slash, but you can not pass anything and it will add it automatically. So this is the path, and now the element is going to be orders. So let's do this. Okay, let's save it. Let's go back, reload everything, and we have this. But for example, if I would pass here detailed order and save it, we are rendering a detailed order because it's taking the first route in this route. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. But we need also to create another route, which will be detailed order. But also we need to do this detailed order we need to pass the ID somehow, because how will we know what order to render? So you can simply do this double dot and ID. That's how you pass the parameters. For example, if in React Native you would do navigation.navigate, specify the name where you're navigating, and then you can also specify the parameters you're passing. So this is something similar, but this will be in a URL, and you will be able to use this ID and take it from the URL. I'll show you how a little bit later. So, okay, let's save this. Let's go back to our orders, and now we can navigate to, and we will navigate. No, first of all, let me show you how to get the ID, I think. No, we will navigate, and we will simply navigate to order item dot order ID, because it will, and let's do like as a string, like this. No, not this, this one. Okay, so because we specified like that if we only pass the ID, that means we are opening an order. You could do, for example, if I would say something like in here, let me go back here, and I would say orders slash ID, then I would need here as well to say orders slash and then ID. So let me save it. And yeah, and now if I click here, let me see what happens. No routes matched. Okay. Let me think. What's the problem? Order. Oh no, because I said order. So not orders here, but order. So let's save it. Let's go back to our normal URL. Okay, so if I click here, oh, perfect. I'm opening a detailed order. And in the URL, we can see that it's in order and then the ID that we passed. So if I go, for example, to this ID, click here, now it's a different ID. But we'll simply make it with ID without, or let's make it with order. Maybe that will make more sense. I think that's a little bit more understandable what it is. Okay, so that's how you navigate. Simple as that. So let's go back again. If you click, you'll go to all of the orders. But now if I go here, first of all, I need to take the ID, and only then I can render all the data according to that. Because first I'll get the ID, then I fetch this exact order, and then according to that, I'll simply display all of the data from the backend. So let's go back to detailed order. And in here, we'll make use of also a hook that React Router DOM provides us, which is called import use params from React Router DOM. And I can do simply const ID equals use params. And it will take whatever you call, however you name it here. If I would say blah blah, then I would have to do in here also say blah blah, and then it knows, okay, that's the parameter we are sending, but we're sending the ID. So let's go back, and after sending this ID, we can, oh yeah, let's, instead of rendering order title, let's render the order and then ID of the order. Save it. Let's go back. So now it should be A9245. A9245. Perfect. Y7902 and F8. Everything is working. We are getting simply that parameter, which we'll use during the next stream. Okay, that's very good. We know how to use the navigation. We know we can know how to take the parameters that we are passing. We know how to pass the parameters. Everything is nice. And now let's go to the here. And now we'll work on side menu because yeah, we kind of need that in order to navigate easily through the application and not be changing always the URL and stuff like that. So for that, let me go back to the stream here. And for that, I'm thinking like how to better approach it now. Yes, I think I know how I'm going to approach it. So in app.js, I'm going to, from Ant Design, I'm going to take a few more things. So it's going to be layout and also image, because yeah, for that little image on the top. And yeah, from Ant Design. Okay, let's save it. And let me actually think a bit more how to approach this better. Yes, I think that should make sense. Okay, so for now, let's comment these out. We're not gonna use them now, but later we will. So we need to wrap everything in this layout, and when we have the side menu on the screen, it will be easier for me to explain what it does. So just bear with me a little bit. I will explain it later. And from this layout, I will also need to destructure some more things. One of them is cider, the other is content, and then footer. So I can show you, maybe actually right now it will make sense as well. So layout is basically the whole screen from Ant Design. And that cider is the side of the screen. The footer, probably as it makes sense, is the footer of the screen. Also, you can take the header from there, and the content is everything that's basically left here. And I'll show you later how we specify, okay, what is exactly the content? How does it know what to render in content and footer and stuff like that? So bear with me. It's a little bit hard to explain it without having everything in place, but I'll wait a little bit and we'll have it there. So for the cider, let's pass cider with some, let's, yes, I need it like that because we'll have to pass the image, yes. Let's pass the style, and the style will be with height, and height will be 100 VH. So basically this VH is the same as 100%. Yeah, that's basically it. And background color will be white, because the rest of the app will be gray, as you can see. It's a little bit grayer, and if I don't pass anything here, it will be the same color. No, it will be, yeah, their color, which in our case doesn't really work. So we needed white. Okay, so that's this whole cider render. Now let's, inside the cider at the top, we need to render image of Uber Eats. So okay, that shouldn't be too hard. Inside the cider, let's pass image from Ant Design, and this image will take a few parameters. First of all, source. And the source, I have Uber image logo, so I'll simply copy it and paste it here. And let me save, and I'll show you one more. So we can see this Uber Eats photo at the top. That's very nice. But right now it has this little preview thing. After I can click and see the whole image. I don't need that to to work like that. So in the image, I can also pass another parameter called preview, and I will say false. Let's save it. Let's go back. And now if I click, nothing is happening. And that's what I want. Okay, so our cider is done. Now let's start working on a layout. It's not on a layout, but let me show you. Layout. And now inside this layout, let's say let's pass content. And in here for now, let's pass span, blah, blah, blah. And now after the content, let's pass footer. And now I'll explain you how everything is working. And in the footer, let's say Uber Eats, restaurant dashboard. And I have this little sign prepared at 2022. I know this is used like in a lot of websites. That's why I decided to also include it here. And let's pass style equals text align center and save it. Perfect. Yeah, so that's basically the footer. It's this high. If I would make it white, we can do that. Background color white. Oh, white. And yeah, here it is, the footer. But we don't need it to be white, so let's leave it like that. And now this content. So let me pass the style to the content and go there to explain. Background color red. Save it and go back. So basically, this whole layout, as I said, is everything here. The whole screen is a layout. Now, if I pass the cider from the layout from Ant Design, which is here, like cider, which I take it from layout, and it comes from Ant Design, then it already knows that this is how big it should be on the side. Basically, cider. Footer, probably self-explanatory as well. Now, the content is everything that's left here. So whatever I render here in content will always be displayed here. But what I need here to always have whatever route I am. So if I click, for example, on orders or on menu or order history, I need these two, side and footer, to stay as they are, but I need only the content to change. So what I would do is take these routes and pass them instead of content, like not instead of, but inside the content. So now if I would save, here it is. I have these orders, but so let's say I go to all the orders. I still have this side and this footer, but content is always changing. So I'm not sure how much it makes sense, but I hope it makes at least a little bit of sense. I try to explain as good as I can, and let me drink some water. Actually, I'm wondering, like, what if I would delete this layout from here and save it? Oh yeah, then this footer will go here. Yes. I need it as well here. Yeah, so because I'm adding another layout in here, basically, uh, cider will all, because otherwise the footer will be this whole long, but I need this cider to always be on top, like no matter what. And then inside here, I'm creating another layout, which I would be able to add another cider here, like, and it would be here. But in this layout, I'm adding the footer and also the content. So that's why I am having another layout here. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I have this, but now I need a menu in here. I need to be able to click on something and navigate. So for that, I'll create, let me think. Probably let's create in source another folder called components. And in here, create another folder called side menu to make it a little bit cleaner. And in here, oh no, in here, index.js. Okay. Here, as always, const side menu. like this, note like this, like this. Okay. Export default side menu. Perfect. So for side menu, we will also make use of Ant Design. So let's import menu from Ant Design. Okay. So for now, let's leave it only with menu and render menu. Yeah, simply return menu, and this menu will need some. Yeah. Right now, I'm not rendering anything. It doesn't have anything to render. So we need to pass some things. First of all, we need to pass items in the menu. So items. And now let's make it empty array for now. But for menu items, how are we going to define like what we need to render there and all that stuff? We're going to do very similarly to a table. We're going to create const with menu items array. And in this array, we will pass, again, items each like row. I'll show you. And each row needs a key to have a key. And the key is basically, let me do this and then show. And also label, label is going to be orders. Let's save it. And also let's pass this here. Menu items, save it. Okay, so what am I doing incorrectly? Menu items, key, label orders. Oh, I'm not importing this menu there. Okay, so let's go back to app.js. And in here, let's import side menu from, oh, no. Source / component / side menu. Okay, yes, here it is. But I don't, yes, like this. And then, under the image, I will render our side menu like that, save it, and voila, we have orders. So basically, let me add another one in order to showcase you. So save it. And the other one will be menu and menu. Let's save it and reload. So when I basically, you can see that if I click on something, this is shown as selected. So if I change to here, it's selected. If I change to here, it's selected. But and it knows how to do it on those keys. But why I named them, for example, why is this named like this? Because that's I'm going to use those keys in order to know where to navigate after I click on this menu item. So yeah, that's as good as I could explain. So we will also have two more options. One of them will be order, history, and the label order, history. And then the last one will be settings, label settings. Save it, go back. Okay, perfect. We have all of these here. But now if I click on menu or orders or anything, nothing is changing here, which means I'm not navigating anywhere. So I'm thinking whether, let's do it. I'll need to pass a method called onClick so that this menu knows what to do when menu item is clicked. And let's create another function const on menu item clicked like this. And for now, we can console.log item in here, menu item, and pass simply on menu item clicked. Oh, Save it, go back, let's open the console and click. Okay, so after I'm clicking, I can see where I'm clicking on the key and key path. The only thing that we will actually use here is key. And as I told you, in order to know where to navigate. Okay, so how to navigate? Simply by importing, use navigate from React Router DOM, creating an object out of it, const navigate equals use navigate. Okay, and in here saying navigate to like this to menu item dot and not like this. Let's see, unexpected token expected. Okay, so let's see like this and save it. So let's reload it and see. Menu, yes, as you can see, we are redirected to the menu. Of course, we don't have any path, so it's failing, but if we go to order history, we will have it. We are navigated here. Settings, we're navigated here. And later we'll create all the pages for these. Right now, we are only know after clicking on a menu where to go. Okay, so in order, for example, if I go here right now on orders and click on this, yeah, I can still go back and everything is working. But let me, first of all, actually, I really hate this blue color. So let's change these styles to the green ones. So as always, going to back to index.js and let's simply, as we already actually did it already. So and menu item selected, so save it. Now selected item will be green, but the color of the text is not green, so that's bad. Let's click and menu item selected and inside span to make it color white. Okay, important, save it. Okay, perfect, it's white, but if I hover, it's still blue, so that's not good for me as well. So and menu item active, because if you hover in it, it makes it active. But okay, so I'll show you only like that. So if it's active, I need to make it green. Save it, then go back. So now if you hover, it makes it green. That's nice. But if I hover it on here, it actually doesn't do anything. So that's actually good. That's the but I thought what's going to happen if I hover on here, it's going to make it green as well. And then it would be bad because then it's the same. But yeah, I think then it's all good. I actually thought it's going to be green for sure. Okay, so that's good. I already like how these things look. So let's go back to the side menu and delete this console log because we don't, to be honest, then I can simply say in here, I know Vadim likes it to have in a separate function. I prefer probably to have it in one. So let's do it like this. And navigate to menu item. I need to have here menu. Oh, it's a little bit longer, but then it's less lines of code. So 50/50. Okay, it's still working as I expect. That's perfect. So we have our side menu as well. Now we can work on the rest of the pages. I mean, we are flying through this tutorial. So let's see. We have page layout, menu items, menu styling, navigation, current menu selected. Perfect. So what's next? Next is going to be dish menu, basically restaurant menu. Yeah, so many menus that I had to come up with a different name. But that's where restaurant will be able to add their dishes, remove their dishes, and so on. Okay, so let's start tackling this. Yeah. So let's create in modules another module called the restaurant menu. And in here, let's create index.js. And here const restaurant menu. And export default restaurant menu. Okay, that's good. So for this restaurant menu, we will need, as always, we will make use of more or less the same things: card, table, and for I don't remember anything else. So I mean, import card table from Ant Design. Okay. And also we need to import the dishes itself already, like that restaurant has. So import dishes as a dummy data from assets / data / dishes. Here it is. Yes. So as always, for the restaurant menu, we'll render a card with a title menu, and let's give some styles, margin, save it, go back, save it. Oh, and also, so right now we won't be able to get to this because we don't have this route. So let's simply create another route, and we will access it through menu. And here, let's say menu, restaurant menu. And maybe here as well, let's see restaurant menu. And let's render restaurant menu. Save it, go to menu, and we're not rendering anything yet here. So that's good. Restaurant menu. Yes, so let's see if actually it works. So what if I would do this and why am I not seeing the card? A path menu, yes, element restaurant menu from modules restaurant menu here from Ant Design. Okay, let's see if I do like this. Most likely I forgot something. I don't know what. Orders, menu, order history settings. What could have I forgotten? Oh, we're not returning anything. Yes. Okay, now let's save it and let's go back and voila, perfecto. We can see our menu, orders, menu, very good. Let's go back and let's work on the table. So if you remember how the table is done, we pass table, and in here we need to pass data source, which is going to be our dishes. Then we also need to pass the columns itself, which let me create a function called table columns, like not function, an array, sorry. Table columns, and also row key. And row key, I actually don't remember. Let me check these dishes. Oh, it's a simple ID. So let's pass ID, save it. And right now we see the table. That's good. And as you can see, we have all the styles here already done, which is why we had to do it at index in order to make them global everywhere and not change them every time. So for table columns, what we will need, first of all, will be a title. And here is menu item. Then the data index will be, let's open this, name. Okay. Now, Now the key will be as well name. I'm used to using single quote, but here, if I fix it, it changes to double quotes. I mean, I don't really care which quotes are used, but yeah. So for title, let's go for price. Then data index is as price, and key is price, but we will need to render it with a $sign. So let's do this. And here, let's say price, like that. And then as previously, simply return like this, price, and a $sign. Save it. Okay, perfect. And now, as you can see, at the end, we need to render a button. So how to do that? Well, it's actually pretty easy as well. We need to say that, the title, of course, is action, as you can see in the design. The key will be action as well. And how to render it, the render method will be different than others, but not that difficult. I don't need the status. The thing is that I remember what I needed to import from Ant Design, but I didn't, which is button. So instead of rendering whatever, I don't know, a text, we will render a button, and we will call it remove. And as you remember, we will simply say pass a type of danger, and let's make remove capital. Save it. And voila, we have these buttons here as well for every one of them. That's very, very good. I mean, there's only one last thing left in this page, which is having here a little button which says like new item, where we can add new items that redirects us to a form. Okay, so how to do that? And that's actually very easy. And to do that, let's also create another function const and say render new item button like this. Okay, and card can take a parameter called extra, which we will render new item button. And whatever you pass in here, so let's pass span for now. It will, let's reload it. Why it's not loading? Oh, because I'm not returning. Return. So actually, if I'm right away returning, I don't need these. I can pass right away these quotes. And then I don't need return, which is going to be like that. Extra is going to be loaded here on the right side of the table, which, again, and design makes everything so easy for us. So in this place, we will need to redirect user on button click. So there are two options to do this. One would be using a link. So I'll show you that. Import a link from React router DOM. So in this case, I would have to do something like link and then wrap everything in this link and pass simple 2. And 2 would be create. So I'll show you later why it's only create. It might be weird right now, but yeah. So if I click here, I would be redirected to menu and create. That's why I don't need to pass the whole path to I don't need to say menu create, because link does that. Like it adds whatever route you are currently, it adds this create or whatever you pass. I could say something over here, and then if I go to menu, click here, and then I'll see this. So that's an approach with link. You could do the same with button. Not the same, but basically you could use button and then programmatically redirect it with the same way as we did before with navigate object. But I think in this case, this is cleaner because we need to redirect on click. So we don't need to do it programmatically or anything. We can render the link itself. But for the component of what's going to be inside this link, I want it to be a button, to look like a button. So that's why I'm passing a button again, but with type primary. Let's save it, go back to menu, and yeah, so that's how it looks. But if you click on here, you'll be redirected to menu, create, and yeah, that's how it works. Let me take some water. I think, oh, sorry. I think this way is better. So that's our menu, a list, and also new item. But now, if I click on new item, I need to be redirected to like a form where I can create a new item, right? Okay, so in order to do that, let's quickly create another component, another module, I would say, called create menu item. Okay, let's create index and const create menu item. Okay, just like that. Export default create menu item. Just like that. And in here, for now, let's simply return span and anything. Yeah. Now let's go to app and create another route, which is going to be menu / create. And in here, let's import create menu item from create menu item, and here create menu item. Let's save it, go back. Okay, if I click on new item, I am here on stuffs and create menu, create. That's everything as we would like it to be. So now we can start working on the create menu item itself. And here we will need to have a form. And guess what? Ant Design is going to help us here again. So let's import some things from here. First of all, we will need form. Then we will also need to import input, button on the bottom to submit. Of course, we're going to do everything in a card. And for price, we need input number. I'll show you what it does later. Okay, that's good. So yeah, we can start working on it. First of all, as always, let's create everything in a card with a title. Title is new menu item. Close the card, of course, like that. Let's add some margin. No, some styles. So styles, let's add some margin, 20. Let's save it and see how it looks like. Okay, very good, very good. So now we need to create a form inside. And in order to do that, simply pass this form with the closing tag. And in here, we can say, let's for now leave it like that. And as you can see right now, it doesn't add anything. But for example, if I start adding a form.item, and now in this form.item, I can pass a label. And label will be restaurant name. Restaurant name. And also I will mark it as required. So let's save it. And you can already see like how much Ant Design does for us. It adds this like that it's required as well. And in here we can add whatever we need like an input to be. So we will pass simple input with placeholder saying enter restaurant name. Save it, and voila, it's here. But that's good. Let's work further, and later we'll style everything a bit more. So we need another form item, which is going to be the description. So restaurant description. I don't think that it's quite. Wait, I'm wondering like whether we actually didn't do description for. Yeah, oh no, we do need description. Yes, it's required. So, and it's not restaurant name. What I'm talking about, menu, dish name, dish name. Yes, enter dish name. And here I'm already thinking, working with this, I'm already thinking how I'm going to do settings page. But for settings page, that's when we're going to use restaurant name, restaurant description, and so on. So here it's dish, new menu item, dish name, enter dish name, dish description, enter dish description. And in here, we need it to be like input. Okay, input is a simple line, but we need description to be like a longer line with more rows and stuff like that. So for that, we can destructure from text area from, no, not here, from not like that, from input like that. Okay, calm down like this. Yes, and instead of this input, let's pass text area, and we also need to pass how many rows will this text area have. So let's say 4. Let's save it, go back, and voila, that's how a description looks like. And it's already, you can like expand it, make it bigger, make it smaller. So I mean, it's already a lot nicer. And last but not least, we need to add a form item, which is going to be price. Price, and let's make it something like this. Okay, and as I said, it's going to be simple input number. Input number, like that. Save it, go back, and voila. And this input number works like this, like very nicely. Okay, but this, I would like all of these inputs to be vertical. That's very easy to do. In form, we can pass layout vertical and save it. Now go back, and voila, it looks a lot better than it used to. And I don't want them to be that long, so I can pass as well to a form wrapper column and say the size. So I would make it span 8. Save it, go back, and it's smaller. You can make the size whatever you want. But yes, that's how you do form. And during the next stream, we'll show how to actually work with forms and submit the forms. Now, talking about submission, I see that we need submit button. So in still form item, we need to create a button that will submit this form. So let's create a button with type primary, and also we need to say like this. I'm used to React Native where I'm just passing title. So submit, save it, go back, and I don't need it to be price. Actually, for this, I don't need a label or anything, simply like this. So yep, that's how I implement a form here. Simple as that. So now we have a lot of routes. We have orders. We have detailed order. We can go back. We can go to menu. We can create a new menu item. And let's quickly implement order history. This screen is going to be very small because it's almost the same as orders. Actually, it's completely the same. It's just displaying different data. So in order not to waste much time, let's create another module, order history called. Let's create index.js, and in here const order history like this. Okay, export default order history, and let's open orders here. Let's split the view and see what we need here, because it's, let me check, double check. I think it's completely the same. Yes, the only thing that's changing is the tags, how we render them. But yeah, that's going to be good. So what do we need? We don't need to navigate, because from here most likely we won't navigate to the detailed, but we need all of these. So let's copy them and paste them here. We will need orders, but we won't need, we need, how is it called? Order history. So order history, no, not like that. Order history, and here, order history, or is it ordered history? Okay, and here, let's make it consistent. Let's save it. So we will need to render the, so let's copy and adjust adjust how we need. Yes. So if order status is delivered, then it's green. Otherwise, let's make it red. So just simply like this. Save it. Okay, so to be honest, I can minimize this. Okay, we'll do it later. So for table columns, let's copy all of the columns, because these will definitely be the same. So let's save it. And now let's go to return, copy all of this, and this return. Here, orders history, a row key order ID. We don't need on row click anything, so we can simply delete this. Here we can see, say history orders. I can't come up with a better name than history orders. Okay, so let's go to our app.js, and here add another route, which will be order history, and do here this order history, and here order history. Let's pass it like this. Let's save it and go back. What happens if I click on order? Okay, so I see all of these orders, and I mean, yeah. Let's. But as I said, everything is working there. Like, we don't need to do anything else. But I would like to simplify this, and instead of having a separate function, let me do like this, and okay, so like this, and return this, to, or make it even shorter, status. Let's delete then this, and here say color, status is delivered, then not like this, status, yes, status equals delivered, then should do green, and otherwise go with red. Save it. Let's maybe fix it, save it, go back, and yeah, it's working perfectly. So I made it a little bit shorter, a little bit cleaner. Okay, here's our orders history, and actually we are down to the last. Let me check actually the comments. Why do you use JS instead of JSX? Actually, it doesn't, like, JSX is for JSX files. And actually, I don't know if here, like, would it complain if I would use JSX or no? I don't know. I don't know. Hi, just wanted to say thank you guys. You were amazing, helping the community. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Sushil, very, very much for your kind words. I'm very happy to hear them. And yeah, hopefully it actually helps you guys. I'm very, very happy to see these words. Okay, actually, the main path slash is slash and not empty string. This could result in a bug in the future. Let's see. Actually, yeah, most likely you are right. So I can simply in here add like that, and I think it should still work um, as needed. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. I agree. I agree with or I'll copy. So yep. Then let's go to our side menu. And okay, so inside menu, everything. Sorry. Yeah, I agree with you that this makes more sense. Yes, exactly. And it depends also how you set up your, for example, for React Native, how you set up everything, because you might see warnings as well if you use, for example, if you're using linting, then you'll see a lint error if your file name is JS and you, yeah, with extension JS and you're using JSX in the file, then you'll see lint errors. But otherwise, this is correct. Rogelio, Zamora, Lucas, why are you so amazing, brother? Thank you very much for support, guys. I'm very, very, I know, flattered, and I'm as well flattered that you are still staying here, like working and watching the stream. Thank you very, very much. Big, big, big thanks. It puts a smile on my face instantly. So yeah, okay. We have order history. Now we have our last screen, which I think before doing that, I would like to clean up a little bit and move these routes in another component, because if I add a lot of routes, this file might get out of control really fast, and I like to keep my app.js clean. So instead of like adding routes here in under components, let's create another folder called app route, then create a new file, index.js, import. What do I need to import? Actually, let's simply copy all of these. Yes, and also I will need these as well. Not this. So let's cut these. Go back here, paste them. Now const app routes like this, export default app route. Okay. Now let's go back here and cut all of these routes from here. Paste them in return here. Save it. And in here, let's import all of that. Import app routes from app routes and simply pass here app routes. Let's save it. I think everything should work, but let me test it. Oh, no, yeah, of course it won't work because we need to change the routes. And the routes are, how did they change? So let's see. With this and in modules / detailed order. Okay, so not that much, only these. Need to add like this and this. This. I think this will make it, especially in the long term, like, of course, we are not going to develop much more on this or create much more screens. Oh, here, I don't need to do that. But if you're working on a real project, then I think you would need to do that to export your routes, because this might get out of hands really fast. Okay, yep, so everything is working. So let me go to new item. Okay, let me go to orders, to the order history. Everything is working. Let me check the comments. Guys, I'm in the process of my own food app. Where can I find the record of this video? So this video will, and also all of the previous Uber Eats tutorials will be on this channel for I don't know how long, but it will definitely be here for a few more weeks. So if you want to work on it, yeah, feel free. And I'm really glad it's not, I don't decide when this video and if it will be taken down from the YouTube or no. But yeah, I think Vadim will try to keep it as well as long as possible if you guys are interested, but I am not 100% sure. And yeah, Mark, no problem. I am really glad that I could help you. Okay, so let's start working on the settings. So in the modules, let's create another and last folder called settings. And in here, let's create an index.js. And what do we need in settings? Let me think. Okay, so we will need definitely form. So let's do that. Let's start importing everything that we might need. So form for sure. We will need input definitely, card, and button to submit. I think that's it. This and from Ant Design. Okay, so yeah, let's quickly render to see if actually we see the screen. So let's get const settings, this, like this. Okay, export default, no, not debugger, export default settings, and let's return span settings. Okay, let's save it. And now let's go to our app route and create another route, which will be called settings and settings. Here, settings, and here, settings. Let's save it, go back, reload. Okay, so yep, we are here. Perfect. It's working. So now we can keep on developing this this screen tab, I would say. Let's see. Okay. So let's start with the card. Simple and effective. So let's create a card. Inside here, let's give a title called restaurant details. And also let's pass some styles with margin 20. Okay. And let's say, okay, restaurant details, that's good. Outside here, let's create a form similar to how we did like with creating new dish items. I also wanted to be the layout to be vertical, so that's what I'm going to do, vertical. I also want wrapper columns to have like be a little bit smaller, so span 8 will do the job for me. And now I'll start creating the form items itself. So form item, let's close it. And the first form item is going to be an input, and basically with, not like that, sorry, with a placeholder. Whoopsie. Oh, also this form item is should have a label, and it should be required. So the label will be restaurant name, and it will be required. Yes, so like that. And the input will have also a placeholder saying something like enter restaurant name here. Save it, go back. Okay, perfect. We have it here. Now we need another form item, and we will need it for, actually, let me add a button and then the last form, or no, let's add form item. It will be restaurant address. It's also going to be required. And the input, of course, will be different. So for now, I'm not going to add anything for input because we're going to do autocomplete. So yeah, let's leave it like that for now. And simply lastly, add a form item for a button to submit. So I don't need all of these, and I will need a button, and this button is going to be is going to say submit, and it's going to be primary, of type primary. Let's save it, go back. Okay, we have everything here. Now, the last thing that we actually need, and let me open the slides at the stream. So we have this, we have this. The last thing that we will need is React Google Places Autocomplete library, which you can install simply by running one of these commands. Depends on what you're using, either yarn add or npm install, but I'll do yarn add React Google, React Google Places Autocomplete. I think it's this. So let me add my stream back. Yes, yarn add React Google Places Autocomplete. Let's click enter. And while it's installing, let me drink some water. Perfect. We have it here. But as I said, like if you want to do with the React Google Places Autocomplete, one of the prerequisites was that you need to have Google developer account created. So what you would have to do there is enable Places API. And let me actually find where you need to go, guys. Okay, so let's open this one. Wait a little bit. So Google, how is it? I think it's Google Cloud Platform, but we'll see. I'm trying to do this off screen right now because I'm afraid to show something not something that I wouldn't like to share. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, where is it? Let me open it here. So you need to go to Google. Let me actually, because probably I will do it again, hide it. So you need to go to console cloud.google.com. In here, you need to click on Marketplace. In Marketplace, you need to find Places API. Yes, let's find, go to Places API here and enable it. Click enable here. Okay, let's wait a second while it's enabling. Also, don't forget, you need to be selected some sort of a project here. So as you can see, I'm selected Uber Eats clone. If you don't have a project, click new project and click create it. So after you do that, you will have to go to Places API. No, actually, yeah, you can go to Places API. You can see the data, how it's used, and yeah, all of this these things. You can go to quotas and set Places API quotas, for example, for requests. How many requests do you want to do? Request per day, request per minute, request per minute per user. And that's more like when you're testing it, it's really good because then you know you're not going to go over the limit and start spending real money. Yeah. So after you enable that, set your quotas, and okay, so you can set those quotas. For example, go here and say, I don't know, request per day. It will be 100 requests per day, and yes, save. And let's wait a second. And as you can see, I'm only able to do 100 requests per day right now. So now I set the quotas. In order to create the API key, I need to go to credentials. And in here, in these credentials, I would need to click create credential up top here and select API key. Now it's going to be creating API key. After it's created API key, copy it and we'll make use of it right now. Of course, I'm not gonna use this one, but yeah. So copy that API key. Now go back to overview, and in here you'll need to enable billing. So go to billing, and in here either link a billing account or manage a billing account. You will need to add your billing account, but you won't be charged unless you go like over their limits. And it's pretty hard to do that because they give you $200 each month to use. So unless you publish your application to a real world application where you need this autocomplete, then you might start like going over the limit. But of course, also you need quite a lot of users there. Oh my god, I wasn't showing the screen the whole time. The whole time. Oh, okay. So go to console cloud.google.com. In here, of course, I am going to use a different account here. In here, search for or go to marketplace, and then in here, search for places API. And here, click on the places API here. Then enable it here. You'll see enable instead of manage. I see manage because I already enabled it while I was showing behind the camera. I mean, so yeah, also don't forget to select your project. Either if you don't have one, just create it, but I'm using Uber Eats in this case. So yeah, select that. Then after you select your enable places API, go to where is it? No, yeah, places API, then here, then enable. So let's wait a second. In here, you will be able to click on, for example, places API that you just enabled, and then you'll be selected. You'll select here places API. Then you can check all the like usage here. You're also able to go to quotas here and set your quotas. And as I mentioned, this is more or less for testing. When you're testing, you can set the limits here, whatever you would like to be. So 150 or something. Okay, then after you set your quotas, enable the API, go to credentials. And in here, click on create credentials and API key. Then you'll get a new API key, copy it, and we'll make use of it a little bit later. Of course, I'm not going to use this one, so I'm going to delete, but you don't delete it. Then go back to overview. And in this overview, in here, click on go to billing and link your billing account. And as I told, like you need to link your billing account just in case. If you will rarely, as I said, go over the limit. So yeah, that's the process of doing that. Oh, it's so sad that I wasn't showing, but okay, never mind. So after you do that, and after you have your API key, we can continue working here. And what we will need to do is to import Google Places Autocomplete from React Google Places Autocomplete that we just installed. Also, we can right away yarn start our server and application. Okay. Let it load. And okay, so under this restaurant address, we will pass this Google Places Autocomplete that we just imported and save it. Let's most likely we'll get an error because we need to pass the API key. Yes. So in this Google Places Autocomplete button, we will need to pass a few parameters. One of them is API key. And you'll need to pass the API key that you just created because the one that I'm going to use here for the stream, I'm going to disable later. So yeah, use that one instead. Okay, so I need to pass the API key. And for now, let's save it. and we can see that here is the input. So for example, if I start typing Vilnius, I can already see the autocomplete, what it's suggesting, or something like New York, and the same. That's good. But now we will also need to create a state in order to, after I click, type something, click to save it here and to have that value. So let's import. I hope I'm sharing the screen. Yes. I'm afraid to do the same mistake again. Let's import from React. We will need to import use state from React. Okay, and here create a state. So const it's going to be address and set address. Okay, equals to use state, and for now, at first it's going to be null. So let's leave it like that. And also we need to set the coordinate. Because we are working with longitude and latitude, we will have to set coordinates instead of simple plain text address. So let's create another state called coordinates and set coordinates. As well, they're going to be null at first. Okay, so this Google Places autocomplete has more parameters that we need to provide to it. So one of them is select props, and in here we'll pass the value, which is going to be basically not the value. Like, yes, so the value, which is going to be the address, and the onChange change function. So basically, what happens after you change the value? Yeah, that makes sense. Which is going to be set address for now. So the value is going to be what it's displaying there, and on change, what happens after you change that value. So let's say I do New York, click on it, that's the value, and after I clicked, it changed there, and I can actually console log my address to see that it actually changed. So yeah, yeah, this is already fixed, so we can clean it. And yeah, let's do California something, or Calicut. Yeah, here it is. We can see our value, which has the label and everything here that we'll make use of right now. Okay, but as you can see in here, there is nothing to get the longitude and latitude. The only thing closest to that, we can take the place ID, but there is no longitude or latitude, which we really need. But good thing for us is that Google Places Autocomplete has methods to get a latitude and longitude. So first of all, we will need a method called gcode by address, and then get lat and longitude. Okay, let's save it. And instead of simply like setting this new address to a state, we'll pass a function to this onChange function, which is going to be called get address lat lng. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Let's save. Let's check. Okay. Perfect. So now the first thing that we will do after calling this is, of course, set the address to the address that we get here. So basically to this value. And now I can, instead of setting value right away, pass this method. So the first thing, of course, we need to set the value. Okay, that's good. The next thing that we will need to do is decode this address to, yeah, decoded address. So to do that, I'll have to do const call this decoded by address. Yeah, that's going to be okay. And then I need to await until this decode. Yes, like this. Yeah, decode by address. and I need to pass the address text. So I'm passing the label because here I need to, and also I need to make this asynchronous, this function. So I need to pass a simple to this gcode by address function, a simple string of the address that I need to geocode, not gcode. So, okay, I have the geocoded address, but now I need to get the coordinates from this geocoded address. So let's do, I can actually console log and show you what this address is. Console log, geocoded by address. Let's save it. Let's go back. And let's say something, yes, select this. And this is what it gives us. Basically, address component and a lot of different other things, which is all. It also has a geometry with location for functions to get latitude and longitude, but we will use one function for both of these things, which is get this one. So here, let's call coordinates. Oh, but the same name. I will have the same name. So let's call lat lng equals await get lat lng, and I need to pass this gcoded by address here. Geocoded by address. And now if I console log lat and longitude, go back here. Let's clean this up and select list something in Lithuania or this one. Okay, what's the problem here? Lat long away. Maybe I need to, let's see, reload. Okay, and now let's go to what address? Okay, something like this. Uncaught cannot read properties of undefined location. Okay, let's see what it is. No. Okay, yes. So this is an array. I need to like pass the first item. Okay, so let's see if it will work right now. Yes, I think it should work. Okay, yes, it works. So this was an array, that's why it didn't know what to do with it. But now we're getting latitude and longitude with that one simple function. And we can set coordinates to this latitude and longitude. Simple as that. And also just to know that we are setting them in here somewhere. Let's see, let's add span with coordinates. Let's access them safely because at first we won't have them. So lat and not like that. Coordinates again, access safely, and LNG or lang. I think it's only LNG. Save it, go back, and for example, let's reload it and select again the same. Or this one. Okay, yep, we're getting latitude and longitude and it's changing. So if I would go to change it to New York, it's changing. Perfect. So yeah, that's how autocomplete works as well. I think, let me check. I think we are done here actually. Oh, I see. The tutorial will be posted on our channel right after the stream ends. Yes, Vadim, you're the best. Yes, Vadim is very, very cool. Very, very sad that he couldn't join it, but yeah, he was working on your good guys. Okay, passing the wrong parameters, expecting an object. Yeah, it was expecting the first. Yeah, later I caught it. Thank you still. And yeah, let's see. So we did this. We have the settings card, and it's time for demo. We've managed to finish this finally. So let's open this and let's have a quick demo. So we have all these orders here that as I said, during the next stream, actually we'll work with real data from AVS and we'll show how everything is connected. It's going to be really cool. So after you click on an order, you can see everything about that order. You can accept it, decline it, and later on finish it. Then you can go to your menu. You can see your menu items. You'll be able to remove them as well. When we work with real data, you're able to add new items with forms, different types of inputs. Then you can see the order history, where you can see basically all the orders that you either delivered or declined. And last but not least, you are able to change your settings. You change your restaurant name and change your restaurant address with Google Autocomplete. Yes, that's it. I hope. Hopefully that's it. I think it went really fast. Hopefully it was interesting and also wasn't too confusing. I tried to explain some of the harder parts as good as I could, probably. But yeah, always, if you have any questions, you can always ask them after the video is launched on the YouTube channel, in the comments, or in the Discord. We are trying to be active there. We have, we try to be active there and answer as much questions as possible. And other people are always helping each other as well. That's what's really cool with this community. So as I said, I'm really, really glad that you guys stayed here and watched this tutorial with me, that you worked on this tutorial with me together. And also, don't forget, then next week, we're going to build this restaurant dashboard backend and connect all of the apps that we created throughout this channel together, and you'll be able to see how everything works, which is going to be, as I said, like a million times already. It's going to be really cool. I hope it's going to be cool. So yeah, thank you. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you get any value. I know Vadim is really sad that he couldn't join, but as I said, as again, like a million times, he's working on the course that he dropped for you guys. So I think we can forgive him. And I think he's definitely going to be here next week. So thank you again, and bye-bye, guys.